Hi, my name is R. Scott Clark, and I teach church history and historical theology. I was not actively raised in the church. I was baptized as a child and spent some time in church, but my religious upbringing was diverse, shall we say. My earliest religious training was really in Alcoholics Anonymous. I was raised in a family with substance abuse issues, and I learned to say the Lord's Prayer in AA and didn't know that it was a biblical prayer. I did not know that the Lord had taught us the Lord's Prayer. I just didn't have the context or the background. Came to faith through an evangelical congregation as a teenager in high school until I ran across a friend who had moved on from that. We had been in the same congregation, and he found a little German Reformed congregation in Lincoln near the university, literally on the other side of the tracks. And I had begun asking questions, and they took me under their wing and catechized me in the basics of the Reformed faith, and really the pieces fell into place very quickly because they were able to show me from Scripture that this is really what the Bible teaches. So I enrolled in Westminster Seminary, California in 1984. At the middle of my senior year, I was invited to become an assistant pastor. I accepted the call, and I spent 6 years first as an assistant and then as a solo pastor in Kansas City. And I just fell in love with pastoral ministry, bringing the Word of God to people every week from the pulpit, visiting them, teaching catechism, teaching Bible studies. I was knocking on doors, doing evangelism, standing in parking lots, getting thrown out of parking lots, handing out flyers, doing all those things, And one thing led to another. I was invited to candidate for a position here, and this was alma mater. It worked out, and here, 19 years later, here I am. What I love about teaching here is the passion of the students for the Scriptures, for the truth, for the gospel. That's sort of what gets me out of bed every day, is knowing that there are people here who are depending on us to help them discover those things, help them understand those things, help them sort of internalize, analyze, and then communicate those things to other people. So we have a lot of really intelligent, bright, industrious students who are anxious to study, in my case, the history of the church, the confessions, particularly of the Reformed churches, the Reformed tradition, and for whom in some cases, this is the first time they're encountering this, and that's always very exciting to introduce the riches of the Reformed theology, piety, and practice to people who are just discovering it.